Why, hello everybody, welcome, my name is Rubydung, welcome to today's episode. As you can see, I am over here at the zombie farm. That is because I have been grinding up XP here for a while now, quite too long. I'm being driven insane out here trying to get myself more XP. But, I think it is about time that I leave my little dungeon here and get myself onto a couple of projects that I want to be working here in the world. So in the last few episodes, I have been working on the actual nether water base. Last episode, I went to actually build the vault, which is right around there. I passed it. I got a little disoriented there. But in the last episode, I wanted to build that vault up, but now I want to return back to the nether water base, because there's a few things I still want to get done over there. In particular, I do need to remove some things. The first thing that I need to get rid of, I'll be doing very shortly, but I also want to continue construction. That scared me so bad. Ooh, every time there's a mob in that portal, I just am absolutely terrified. But there is a couple of things I want to build while I am around there. In particular, I kind of hinted towards that a little bit with my little food munch there. But I already have a food farm set up in my overworld there. And I think it's about time that I probably set up one around here as well, so I don't have to jump around too much. But when I come all the way down here and jump here, there is my sand generator. So this is broken. I showed that it was broken a while back. It broke a few updates ago, and apparently is just completely unrepairable. It's just broken forever ever. So number one task is, I'm always scared to come out here, especially considering how it's like there's so many gas. But task number one is going to be to get rid of this now, meaning that I now have a nice little open room with nothing to do on it. So there, as you can see already, there's going to be this big space of just nothingness. So probably going to fill this in or just get rid of it. I probably would prefer to put something here than just build a platform and then get rid of it like a couple episodes later. So first things first, get rid of the actual broken sand farm. In which case, luckily getting rid of the sand's easy. Getting rid of the actual machine's the hard part. And boom, okay, now that's nice and cleaned up. So now I want to find something to actually do with this platform, because now that the sand generator's gone, I need to actually put something here. I also probably should clean that up now that I'm realizing it. That looks ugly, but it's also one of my only ways to, oh boy, there's so many things I have to work on. This nether water base needs so much polish. But in the last few episodes, I also went through here and built up this tunnel. In which case, I have a path going all the way up here and leading myself all the way to the tree farm. So that is nice. But I also, on the opposing side, all the way down here, built a path leading all the way over to the actual record keeping. So this is where I keep all of my episodes. So, I kind of want to build an additional extension, probably off of either there or I'm probably going to leave that area open, but I want to build basically a one-stop shop for food. That's my main goal for today's episode, is I want to build, number one, a pumpkin farm, just a standard pumpkin farm like I use in my main base. I want to build an egg farm, so once again, probably quite similar to how I have it in my main base. And also a sugarcane farm. Probably going to be significantly smaller scale, though, because I get significantly too much sugarcane already. But in order to start that, I want to start off with some math in order to do today's episode. I found this guy underneath the iron farm, and I'm a little bit concerned, but I'm also not too concerned because he also has the worst trade in the game, so a little interesting trivia. I think he swam down that little stream there, so I probably should pluck that off, but saw this guy here and I thought that was interesting. This is the only one who escaped, but also his trade sucks, so I don't care. But what I actually brought you guys over here to was for the Wall of Answers. Also, you get to see my little diagram of the warehouse that one day I will never build, which is every day. So that's still there in case anyone's ever curious. But I have the Wall of Answers showing my plan for what I'm going to be doing in the Nether water base. So I'm planning on making a farm in the Nether water base, particularly 3 farms that will get me pumpkin pie at a quite quick rate, because currently I do get quite a bit of pumpkin pie. However, the most notable thing about it is the biggest lacking factor in how much pumpkin pie I get is the pumpkins. So what I have here is a little bit of a calculation, in which case I went through and looked through some values. Pumpkins, whenever you put in a pumpkin stem will have a pumpkin root off of it between 25 to 30 minutes on average. This is about the biggest part of the curve. So anyone who knows bell curves probably knows what this is talking about. The 25 to 30 minute range is about the peak range of that curve, while the sugarcane, that's about 15 to 20, and eggs is about 5 to 10. Obviously, this is extremely rounded. I would be shocked if all of these are very appropriate, but this is the best I could do with my testing and what I could find online. So this is the values that I'll be going forward with, which means I am now going to take these rough approximations and make them as exact as possible, because I'm just going to presume they're as exact as possible, because that's what I require for the farm I'm building here. In which case, for pumpkins, on average, we're talking about 27.5 minutes in order to grow 1 pumpkin from a single stem. For sugarcane, we're talking about 17.5 minutes to grow 1 piece of sugarcane from 1 root. And from eggs, we're talking about 7.5 minutes for a chicken to lay an egg. Then, we have a little rough calculation down here. In about 10,000 minutes, that 1 pumpkin stem should be getting us about 363 numbers. Should get us about that many pumpkins in about 10,000 minutes. So this in itself, that is approximately 5 stacks, I believe, of pumpkins off of a single stem in 10,000 minutes. For sugarcane, we will be collecting 571 amount of sugarcane in 10,000 minutes. So that's already quite a bit higher than this range. Matter of fact, it's almost double. It's a little bit under. I think it's more. Yeah, I think it's more like this is 2/3 that or so. But yeah, this is quite a bit smaller. Then we have eggs, which are also at a faster time. This is about 7.5 minutes, and 10,000 minutes, you'll get 1,333 infinitely repeating decimals, by the way. That's also repeating over this side. It's also repeating on this side. Amount of eggs. So, this is not, if we just decide to put up, for example, because this equation should work linearly as well, if we put up 10,000 stems, that means every minute we should be collecting about 360 pumpkins. Put down 10,000 sugarcane roots, we should get about 570 sugarcane, and we put down 10,000 chickens, we should get about 1,300 eggs. None of these values are acceptable. I just wanted to show the extremes, so that way you can get a better visualization of why we want to do these averages. Because if you put a very big number, you get a very good idea of comparisons about a curve. And this is about the curve we're looking at right here. So then, if we take this, we want to gather 64 pumpkins. How long will it take to gather 64 pumpkins off a single stem? That's going to be about 1,760 minutes. To get off 1 stem, 64 pumpkins. To get off 1 root of sugarcane, that will take about, to get 64 sugarcane off 1 root, that will take about 1,120 minutes. For eggs, to get 64 eggs from a single chicken. That'll take about 480 minutes. Also need to provide another curve. This is significantly smaller than these two. Matter of fact, this is sub half what this is, and this is legitimately, I think this can go in about 4 times. No, it can go in more than 4 times. Oh golly, yeah. This is a very small value comparative, so not many chickens are going to need to be compared. So I calculated an equation. In order to get the amount of stems and base sugar canes and chickens that I'm wanting in order to make this farm operational, I want to grab a full 64 in 5 minutes. Now, why 5 minutes and why 64? 64 is a full stack, meaning that once I gather all of this up, I'll have a place in my inventory just for pumpkin pie. Then, for the 5 minutes, item despawns after 5 minutes of sitting on the ground. So, if I have a farm that is able to produce at 5 minutes, that means that the farm will produce as fast as it throws away. So, I'll be producing at an equal rate. So, in order to produce 64 pumpkins in 5 minutes, I'll need about 352 stems. Now, that in itself is about 5 stacks of pumpkin seeds. Then for sugar cane, that's about 224 bases, so that's going to be about, I believe that should be about 3 stacks of sugar cane. Maybe 4, it's getting a little bit close there. And then eggs, that's going to be 96 chickens, which, chicken spawns from an egg at a completely random variable. I didn't pre-look this variable, so that's just going to be quite a large number of eggs. So, in order to get all of the equations that I'm looking for, I'm going to need to build a pumpkin farm capable of suiting 352 stems, sugarcane farm capable of suiting 224 base, and a chicken farm capable of suiting 96 chickens. So, let's throw those numbers up into a viewable thing in a chest here real quick. Just to give a good visual of how many items I'm going to be needing for this, this is all of the pumpkin seeds I will be needing to plant all the stems. This is all of the sugarcane I will be using to plant. And this is the number of chickens I will need in order to get from eggs. So presuming that every single one of these eggs hatch a chicken, I will need to get 1 chicken from each of these eggs. Which, with all of this now in mind, I can now calculate what resources I need for what. Meaning that, for example, for these pumpkin seeds, using my pumpkin farm design, I would need to be using in total twice as many pistons as I have pumpkin seeds here. Which in total will be about, that's about 5 here, so it'll be 10, so about 11 pistons. Then, from over here, I will need 1 piston per plant, which is a lot simpler. So that means I will need a total of, that would be 4.5 pistons. So, meaning in total I'm going to need about 15.5 stacks of pistons. So, that means I will be needing about that much iron. So if I run all the way down here to the main base, he's still here in case anyone's curious. Run all the way down here to the main base, I can see how much iron I have in reserves, which I think I can actually craft that many pistons with. The bigger problem is probably going to wind up being things like cobblestone. So open this up. Yep, alright, and so each block here will be about 9. So that's about 9 here, and this is a half. So a half of 9, so it'll be about 4.5 stacks, meaning I have about 13.5 stacks of iron, meaning I'm going to need quite a bit more iron. Actually, with that, with this spare iron here, I might have enough, but I'll be going through almost all my iron reserves, because that will be 14.5, 15.5. So yeah. With all of this, I would have the correct amount, but redstone also might be a problem, because that would be 9 stacks, 10, 11, 12, and almost 13. To be fair, I do have some pistons on standby, but redstone might wind up being a problem for that, but I can try crafting all of that right now, but I think I might need to wind up trading with a couple of villagers in order to get the actual redstone, because I believe there is actually a redstone trade for villagers, but it's not very good if I remember correctly, so that might put a bit of a hitch in my plans. So I might need to wind up going mining for all of that in order to get all the proper amount of actual resources. By the way, oh, I didn't actually grab a trapdoor. I should probably go all the way back to base and grab myself a trapdoor. It's kind of important because I want to seal off the top of that water stream so no more villagers fall down it. But on another note of all of that in general is that is probably going to wind up wrapping it for today's episode. Hopefully I can get all of the concept stuff for this done off camera, so that way you guys don't have to see me going through even more of that. I'm also going to take some extra wood here. I think I only really need the one, but I'm taking 5 just in case. But hopefully I got most of the concepting done in today's episode. When I get back to you guys, I probably should have all the resources for that, the biggest one being redstone. So I'm going to wind up needing to mine out a bunch of redstone between now and next episode. So hopefully when I get back to you guys, I'll have a whole bunch of resources mined out, meaning I'm probably going to need to go back to the mines at the second base, or the beta base, I think I was calling that, the transit base, for anyone who's watched my series for a long enough time, because that's where my main mine establishment is, so I'd probably need to go all the way back there in order to establish all of the appropriate mines in order to get all the redstone. So I'll need to set that up. By the way, I only need 1 apparently, so that's good to know for the future. Anyways, guys, that is probably going to wind up being it for today's episode. Ooh, will that interfere? I don't know. I think I probably should put it down 1 more just to be safe. There we go. And just in case. Like that. Boom. But, anyways, guys, that's probably going to wind up being it for today's episode. Ah, here it is. I knew there was a redstone trade. So, I can get redstone from that, but I'm probably going to wind up mining for it. The trade there is not good, so probably going to wind up mining for it for the future. So, anyways, guys, that's probably going to be it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any ideas of things you want to see me work here on in the future, there's a whole bunch of things going around in my base and world in general. So if you have any things you want to see me work on, please make sure to put that down in the comments. I don't think this is working. What happened? What happened? My entire sugarcane farm isn't working. Fascinating. Do I have anything to restart it? What happened? I'm very confused now. Let me jump down here, grab a switch, and I can repower that. I was not expecting that to happen. No wonder I haven't been getting sugarcane. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have anything you want to see me work here on in the future, I'm probably just going to wind up powering this on the way. Oh, wait, I had wood. I could have just powered it up there. All I need was a button. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. That's going to be it for today's episode. See ya. So long. Bye. Into the water stream. Actually, I probably shouldn't film myself setting up this button again. Nice and working again.